The Chinese economy, GDP. 3 letters. Here's what they actually mean. Gross domestic product, the size of an economy. Everything produced, every good, every service, every transaction, added up over a year. The total output of a country. Now, is GDP a perfect measure of how well a country is doing? No, it is not. It misses how happy people are. It doesn't capture pollution or stress or the work being done at home for free. However, it does tell us something very clearly, and that is where a country is putting its time. Now, China's economy is huge, about 140 trillion yuan in 2025, roughly 19 trillion US dollar, the second biggest economy in the world by official numbers, and actually the biggest if you adjust to what money actually buys on the ground. 1 in every $5 of global GDP activity happens inside of China. But before we go further, a bit of a caveat. Chinese economic data comes from the Chinese government. This is better than people often assume and a bit worse than the government claims. So, here's the trick. Imagine the entire Chinese economy as a calendar year. 365 days. And then let's divide this into different days to see where the Chinese year actually go in terms of GDP. We start with a chunk that defines modern China, manufacturing. So factories, steel, cars, electronics, chemicals, batteries, solar panels. Most of the stuff that is currently in your home today is probably made out of China. About 27% of the entire economy goes into this. 99 days a year. 3 solid months. Just making physical stuff. To put that into perspective, the United States spends roughly 37 days a year on manufacturing. The European Union about 58 days. China spends 99. China is very literally the factory floor of the planet Earth, and no other nation is even close. Next up, the property complex. Real estate and construction combined. For 2 decades, this was the Chinese growth story. Apartment towers going up so fast you can actually watch them grow from space. Then the music stops. Evergrande, Country Garden, the slow motion busts. Today, the 2 sectors combine to make up around 13% of the economy, about 48 days a year. Still huge, but not as huge as it used to be. Next up, trade and logistics. Wholesale, retail, transport, hospitality, all the moving and serving of things, everything that is in Shanghai malls, Pingdongduo, tobacco, food delivery, the whole machine. About 17%, 60 days a year. After that, finance and tech combined. Banks, insurance, capital markets, Tencent, ByteDance, Huawei, Alibaba, the world of WeChat and TikTok. About 14% of the economy or 50 days. Smaller than you think from the headlines. Next up, agriculture. Feeding 1.4 billion people. About 7% of the economy, about 25 days a year. For comparison, this is about 6 times as much this year that America spends on its agriculture. This one statistic quietly tells you everything. China is still rich, but still it has hundreds of millions of farmers in the countryside that hasn't moved to the city just yet. And then up, utilities and energy, coal, oil, the electric grid, about 10 days a year. And everything else, government services, healthcare, education, scientific research, business services, the arts, bundled together, the remaining 73 days of the year, roughly 2.5 months. That's the 365 days all accounted for. But here is where China gets really interesting and look really different from the West. Just take healthcare, for instance. Every doctor, every hospital, every pill, about 7% of the economy or 26 days. That is less than half of what Europe spends and less than a third of what the Americans are spending. The Chinese health system have improved enormously over the past 20 years, but it is still nowhere near rich well coverage. Next up, education. only about 4% or 15 days a year, 3 weeks. Roughly the same share as Europe, but spread over nearly 300 million students, so the spending per student is far lower than any other rich country. Next up, defense. The official Chinese budget put this at 1.5% of GDP, but outside estimates such as SIPRI, the Pentagon, pay the real number considerably higher, between 1.7 to 2.5%, once you count the bits that don't show up in the headline figure. So somewhere between 6 and 9 days a year. The world's second largest army, the fastest naval expansion in modern history, all on a defense that is, no matter how you slice it, is well under the American level. But the real headline isn't any of these. It is this. Of every Chinese day, 41% is investment. This is construction, factories, infrastructure, new machines, new ports, new high-speed rail. About 150 days a year, 5 months, going into building the future rather than enjoying today. In America, that number is around 22%, about 80 days a year. So China invests almost twice as much of its year as the United States does. This is the engine that built modern China. And increasingly, the thing that economists worry about has become too big. Because you can only build so many bridges before the next bridge stops paying for itself. So that is the shape of the Chinese economy, a factory the size of a continent. Hundreds of millions of people still on farms, a healthcare system half the relative size of Europe's, a military that's officially small but probably isn't, and more than any other country on earth, a nation choosing to spend a lot of its days building rather than consuming. The same question as before though, is this well spent? China has built more bridges, ports, high-speed rail and apartment blocks than any other country in human history. Some of this genuinely makes sense and make people richer. Some of it is just empty buildings in cities nobody's moving to. Some of it counts as GDP only because somebody got paid to pour the concrete. In our next video, we pull back all the way back. Not a country, every country. We want to look at the total global economy, 8 billion people, one combined year, to figure out how the whole planet is spending its days. Hope you watch next time. I'll see you then.